Hey everyone, Darth Jager here with a Chilled Monkey Brains movie review. Today we're checking out the 4K UHD of Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus. Alien Romulus is the newest movie in the Alien franchise and the first from the Disney Fox era. The story takes place in between 1979's Alien and 1986's Aliens. The big ask of the audience this time around is that the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, referred to only as the company in the original film, has had space drones searching, well, space, which it turns out is big, really big. You just won't believe how vastly, hugely, mind-bogglingly big space is. They're searching near the last known location of the Nostromo, which you'll remember from the first movie was utterly vaporized. Eventually, they find some huge chunks of wreckage that wasn't spread out thousands or millions of miles from the epicenter of the explosion, and conveniently nestled amongst the bits and bobs is the big chap xenomorph, encased in some kind of resin. The drone brings it back to the Renaissance space station, where the company scientists open up its shell and release the beast. We later find out through dialogue given by Science Officer Rook, a company synthetic brought to life through the combination of an animatronic body with the face of the late great actor Ian Holm, and an actor doing the voice, which is altered by an AI respeecher. Yeesh, there's an uncanny valley here that's more like an uncanny Grand Canyon. Anyway, not Ian Holm has managed to learn all the secrets of the xenomorph, and with the help of the does whatever the script needs it to black goo from Prometheus, has figured out how to 3D print an assload of facehuggers. And things go as one might suspect. But, of course, we don't get to see that as it happens off screen. Next, we're introduced to our group of young meat sacks, well, protagonists, who live and toil in obscurity on the Weyland-Yutani mining colony planet, where the space station is orbiting. The main character, Rain, has just learned that the company has arbitrarily doubled the hours of service on her contract, which effectively is her stuck on this perpetually cloudy planet for another 5 years, when all she dreams of is leaving for a planet where she will be able to witness a sunset or a sunrise or something. Rain, who, by the way, is the bird in the cage the whole time, and her brother, an autistic company synthetic named Andy, the android, meet up with their friends who have a plan to abandon their jobs, fly up to the Renaissance space station, loot it for its cryotubes, and leave on a 9-year journey to another colony planet not owned by the company. They want Rain to bring along Handy Andy because he's a Weyland-Yutani synth who can help them gain access to the space station, because apparently all company synths are like electronic skeleton keys or something? I guess so. So, the space Gen Zers get up to the station only to find that the cryotubes in the EEV don't have enough cryofuel for the journey. So they got to walk around to another part of the station where the cryofuel is stored. Why didn't the company store the fuel near the items that would require it? Don't know. So they get to the room and they're removing the cryotank fuels, and they manage to turn off the freezing system for the face huggers and also heat up the room to a temperature that warms the creatures up enough to escape, which leads, of course, to a lot of idiotic decisions by the meat sacks that ultimately leads to most of their untimely ends. I mean, if you've seen any of the films in this franchise, you know what to expect. If not, spoilers, I guess? Listen, by all ways of measurement, this is not a great flick. It basically recycles scenes and situations from better films in the franchise, and even ideas from bad films like Alien Resurrection and Prometheus. Fede Alvarez gives us Alien the greatest hits and perhaps greatest misses, which leaves us what leaves Disney Fox with a very safe, very mediocre entry into the lore, but made a few bucks at the cinema for them, which is great. Good for them. That's not to say there might not be a half-decent movie in there somewhere, buried amongst the mess that is Alien Romulus. Director Alvarez, he tries his best with the horror elements, and his introduction of the main characters, which I will say this about them, they are different enough that you have no trouble telling them apart, which is, uh, better than they've done in some of these movies. You might even care about them a little bit by the time they all get taken out by the xenomorphs, or maybe not. I can't help but think there might have been a lot of studio notes forced onto the flick, but hey, who knows? The overuse of Easter eggs like Jerry Goldsmith's score from Alien and the production design that's straight out of a 1979 film, well, occasionally welcome, at other times seems nothing more than a hollow attempt to elicit an unearned positive emotional response from longtime fans of the franchise. You'll have to decide for yourself whether you think this is a good thing or a bad thing. There are things I enjoyed in this flick. The sets are all practical, the creatures are practical, a lot of the effects are practical. They look freaking amazing. They really took their time with this, and you can see where they spent the money on the screen. I mean, this film on the whole looks fantastic. So, how did the 4K disc look? Well, pretty darn good, actually. 20th Century Studios gave us a 4K UHD HEVC transfer encoded at 2160p and 2.35 to 1 aspect ratio. The film was shot on Arri Alexa 35 and finished with a 4K digital intermediary. This is a fantastic, dare I say, reference level video presentation. The audio gives us a decent sounding Dolby Atmos track on the 4K and an equally great sounding DTS HD Master Audio 7.1 track for the included 1080p Blu-ray disc. Yes, the extras, though, they're nothing short of, I'd say, disappointing compared to the physical media releases of other films in this franchise. Alien Romulus contains no feature commentary tracks and only a smattering of bonus features totaling a mere 57 minutes. I'm afraid long gone are the days of releases with 6 or 7 hours of extras like the Prometheus Blu-ray with its multiple commentaries and nearly 4-hour Charles Della Larica directed making of documentary, which is, I'd say, better than the film itself. In the end, if you gotta have all things Alien, which I do apparently, more fool me, you should pick this up. If you're not a big fan, give it a skip. Just watch the 1979 original. So, thank you for watching this review of Alien Romulus 4K. Please like, share, subscribe, and remember, if you ain't got physical media, you ain't got nothing. Later. See you in the next video.